Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Memory Hunt, the czar of the playbook, bringing you a 2012 Canadian Football League team preview for the defending Grey Cup champion BC Lions, presented by 13thman.com. So let's start by looking at their offensive side of the football to see what they can expect to look like in 2012. What a year Travis Lulay had back there for the BC Lions. He's the real reason why they were able to capture the Grey Cup championship. His arm strength, his accuracy, and most importantly, his underrated mobility. The way he leaves the pocket and takes off downfield, it just adds an added dimension to that offense. And now defenders can't just key on the pass. They have to worry about him scrambling and extending plays. So if he can continue to build on his success last year, this team will be tough to beat for years to come. And also keep an eye on rookie Thomas DeMarco. Did a great job of putting that Old Dominion program on his back, that newly started Old Dominion program. So he's a guy that you want to keep an eye on as a developmental prospect. The running game was a key part to that BC Lions offense last year, led by Jamal Robertson, but he's gone now. But I think Andrew Harris will do a phenomenal job in filling in his place. He brings two things to the table: youth, number one, that's most important, and also he can catch the football out of the backfield. And what that does, it helps an offense stay balanced. It helps an offense give different looks, give different mismatch opportunities for opposing defense. I think that added element, added with the fact they have a solid backup in Tim Brown and a slew of newbies that's going to come in and help bolster the running game. And they're going to use a running back by committee approach, and that's going to be helpful in keeping that running game on pace. Guys like Taylor Atwood, Stuart Ford, and also keep an eye on the rookie Nick Grigsby. He was a beast at Arizona. This guy is going to provide that physical inside presence. You see right here, number 5 for Arizona. He's going to provide that physical inside presence, guy that's going to be money near the goal line and help keep this BC Lions running game a consistent threat week in, week out. The CFL is a passing league, and the BC Lions have some of the more consistent and better wide receivers collectively as a unit. You look at a guy like Geroy Simon, always making the big play runs, excellent routes as well. Arlen Bruce is another guy that steps up week in, week out, but Geroy Simon is a guy that's going to come in and be that consistent veteran presence. You look at a guy like Sean Gore right there making big plays against Hamilton, and I want you to keep an eye on a young player that I want to see get more play, more ticks, and that's Marco Iannuzzi out of the University of Montana. This guy played sparingly as a rookie, but if he continues to improve and get more reps, the BC Lion fans will love this guy because he will bring a lot of skill set to the table. They also get Paris Jackson back from injury, so this wide receiving core will be another huge strength for this BC Lions offense. 2010, the offensive line was a problem. 2011, the line improved. This year, they're going to get even better. They bring over Patrick Kabongo from the Edmonton Eskimos. You already team him up with Ben Archibald, outstanding tackle, and also another tackler, Jovan Olafaye. These guys would do a great job in protecting Travis Lulay. You have to keep him well protected. Jesse Newman on the interior with Patrick Kabongo gives this offensive line its core strength, and they will do a great job of not only opening up holes for the running game, but keeping their prize investment, Lulay, back there well protected. So look for a repeat performance from this offensive line. The defensive line loses a lot of key players up front, but they still have Karan Williams up front. He's going to do a great job of getting pressure on the quarterback, but they have to find pressure elsewhere. That's why they went ahead and traded up to draft Jabbar Westerman out of Eastern Michigan. This guy is a big guy that causes a lot of pressure from within. You get pressure from the interior. You can get pressure from the outside because it's going to create one-on-one opportunities. Now you team him up with Karan Williams, and now you can try to rebuild what you had last year as far as pass rushing is concerned. It won't be the same, especially without Hunt back there on that defensive interior, but you are making steps in the right direction. So this is the biggest question I also have about the BC Lions defense. Your linebacking core is only as good as the guys up front that's occupying blockers, but these guys out there at the linebacking spot, I think, can do a great job without an outstanding defensive line. Guys like Anton McKenzie, who consistently gets pressure, also does a great job dropping back in certain coverages. James Juracek, Bo Bell, all three of these guys are guys that play downhill. Bo Bell is the thumper of this group, but you look at Juracek and also McKenzie, guys that can drop back in coverage and also can rush the passer. So I feel comfortable with the linebacking core despite not having the impressive defensive line that they had a year ago. There's a lot to like about the BC Lions secondary led by their outstanding cornerback, Corey Banks. When you look at Banks, you look at a guy that has a knack for the big play, always around the football as far as making interceptions and pass breakups. The same can be said by the other outstanding corner, Ryan Phillips, a guy that has tremendous instincts, can sit off, play off coverage, can play man press, but he has that read and reaction skill to jump in, pick off a pass if need be. And also like the big playmaker, Dante Marsh. This guy is a solid tackler. This guy always ends up with the football, so their secondary is known for making big plays. And now they bring over another vet in Lynn J. Shell from Toronto. So this secondary, which was strong last year, got even stronger and should be another key strength to that Lions defense. The offensive side of the football is still pretty much intact. They lose running back Jamal Robertson, but they replace him with a lot of guys, a lot of solid guys. But as long as the passing game is there, Lule is upright protected, and he improves on last year's performance, there's a lot of optimism out there in Vancouver because of the fact that these guys can put up points, and they all have talent. They all have the ability to make a splash play, and that's what you need week in, week out in the CFL. The main concern for me is, can they replace those guys they lost up front on defense? That pressure was a key cog to their success last season. If they can replace guys like Hunt and company, they could have some success, but that's the biggest concern. Defensive pressure up front will be one to watch this season, and I'm interested to see how well they adapt to the new guys they added, and that could affect the linebacking core. It could affect the secondary, but if they can't get pressure up front, this BC Lions defense will take a step back. So that's the biggest concern I have so far for the defensive side of the football as far as the team as a whole this upcoming 2012 season. Until the big dog gets knocked off, you have to give them their props and put them back atop the West Division. I think they finished first, not because they won the championship last year, but because of the fact that most of their offense returns. And I think the pieces they add on the defensive side of the football, they will get better every week. So you want your defense to get better as the week progresses, as it gets colder, as the offense gets tougher. The defense has to get tougher with it. I think these guys could have a repeat appearance in a Grey Cup championship. For more CFL coverage, visit footballgameplan.com/CFL. And to talk more BC Lions football, visit lionbackers.com.